The following stream contains mature content and subject matter. Viewer discretion is advised. Chicago. Ask someone to picture the city, and they will have trouble coming up with a concise description. When people think of New York City, they think of skyscrapers, subways, and muggers. When they think of Los Angeles, they think of sun, smog, and traffic. When they think of Detroit, they think of cars, factories, and decay. But for those of us that know, there's only one thing we think of when someone mentions Chicago: vampires. And tonight, we tell their story. Good evening and welcome to McStabber Studios' Windy City After Dark. I am the storyteller, Shaggy McStabber.
And I am Mama McStabber in Twitch chat, and you can find me on socials at Relindare, and I'll be playing Juggling Ron of Clan Ventru.
Hi, I'm Mischievous Red, and I'll be playing Isabella Caputo of Clan Toreador.
Good evening, I am Ivy Raven, and I play Genevieve Schutz of Clan Gangrel.
I'm Urian, and I'm playing Roscoe Akers, Clan Tremere.
Hi, and I am Brad, Timber Brad 411 in chat, and I'll be playing Nicholas Bowens of Clan Hikata.
And, well, when we were with this coterie last week, there was a number of individual projects people were working on. A lot of little bits. Isabella and Roscoe had a heart-to-heart. Jackie met up with Francis, though Francois is a better name. Jackie and Jenny went to see good old Dawn Akata. Roscoe had a nice meeting with a gentleman. But we're going to jump right to the end of last episode because I know Jackie had come back to her haven and ran into Arjun Shaw. But before we go to that scene, we're actually flashing to Nicholas because this is happening at the same time. Nicholas, you are in your haven. It's late in the evening, not quite morning though. What do you normally do at this hour when you're in your haven?
So this would be the, I think the new haven that he got from Lamar. So he's probably like tidying up and then probably, reading some tome that he has about like funerary practices or something. He's probably just kind of keeping low on radar.
Well, as you're working and going through it, you hear a voice behind you. You can see it. but you certainly heard it.
Do I recognize it?
The voice. I have brought something to you.
So I'll throw on Oblivion Sight and then look backwards.
Looking backwards, there is a twisted creature on all fours with flames in its eyes. It's humanoid in shape. You can tell it was once human, but it is crouching on the floor, looking up at you. Now, you've seen this creature once before, though it did not talk. It was at the Madam's Tower.
Is this the one that had Samantha?
It was the one on the ceiling of the elevator and then brought in Samantha, yes.
Is it from her?
My mistress says to give you this. And his hand reaches out and there's something in it. It's hard to see it through the shroud. But then suddenly, there's almost a soft tearing sound or a sound of something ripping slightly. And then the tink of metal hitting the floor as a ring drops at your feet.
Do I recognize the ring?
Oh yes, it's the ring you gave the madam, the one that had you eating flesh. This is not cursed, she says. This is not part of the deal. She does not want regular rings.
Curious. Considering it was very much cursed when I gave it to her.
She was quite clear. It is not cursed. It is not part of the deal. She has no wish to have it.
Allow me I find it in poor taste to return a gift and use a messenger such as yourself. I do not accept this in return, but I will speak to her regarding our arrangement. Just to be safe, I'm sure you understand.
I don't think she cares what you do with it. Throw it out for all I care. All I had to do was drop it here.
Then your deed is done.
I have done as the mistress commands. Now maybe she'll let me go for a little while.
Then I suppose you should be on your way, Spectre.
And you see him turn, and as he's leaving, there's a laugh that just pierces through your entire spine. It is a laugh not of madness, but of hate and vitriol as it's laughing, as it's scurrying across the floor and walking through your walls to leave, leaving a ring just sitting in the floor. And yes, it looks exactly like the one you gave her.
This will be problematic to explain to the others, I imagine. And Nicholas will send a group message. We may have a problem.
Okay, well, Jackie, you get that as you're talking with Arjun Shaw. I don't know if you're going to answer it at the time. You probably wouldn't even check it at the moment. So for the rest of you, you get that text.
No responding. What's the problem?
Nicholas will send a picture on the sat phone of the ring on the floor. the dog walker brought it.
I thought that was just, I'll just say, thought that was in safekeeping.
As did I.
Isabella responds, "Hope you're not hungry."
And I imagine at that point, Nicholas is, it's a lot of those 3 dots, like he's responding and then it goes away, and then 3 dots and it goes away, and then he just doesn't respond. He doesn't, he'll grab like a cloth or something to pick it up.
Okay.
But very cognizant that he gave this to the madam and it's not, doesn't view it as his anymore.
That's fine. Pick it up. You don't feel anything when you pick it up, even through the cloth. You don't. Feels like a ring you just picked up.
And I'll put it in the safe with other curiosities. Actually, yeah, I'll put it away for safekeeping until the actually, before I put it away, like I'll open it up in my hand like it's in the cloth. I want to see if it's a fetter.
You're going to use the binding fetter. So let's pull that up and double check. I'm not sure. I don't think there was any rolls for the binding fetter. It just requires you to...
On activation, I just have to look at it. And while it's in use, yeah.
Yep. When you open up your sight to look, to identify this, now you know all of those rings you got before from Benway were fetters.
Hmm.
This one is not. There is nothing tied to any spirit attached with it. Now, you know it was before, but it is not now.
Were there any identifying marks on the ring that I know for certain, like there was an inscription or something that I would know that this is the ring and not just a ring that looks similar?
It was a gold band. It had patterns on it, but the patterns weren't anything special. There was no carat mark inside. There was no maker's mark inside. There was no engraver's mark inside. This thing obviously originated before that was common practice. And the one you hold in your hand does not have anything either. Though,
and as far as...
I will give you a special roll here. Roll wits awareness. It's not a concealed object, though.
Okay.
Oh, 5. Damn, on 6 dice, 5. That's pretty good. It's made of gold, which makes it a soft metal, but you could swear this one is not as scuffed as you remember.
Yeah, then I'll put it away for safekeeping, and then just send a message just to Roscoe. This may be something else. I'll explain later.
And I'll just respond, okay.
And as Nicholas goes about the rest of his night, we flash back to Jackie with Arjun as the two of them head into her haven. And Arjun tonight is once again, he's wearing a tailored dark navy blue suit. Always impeccable style.
Mhm.
Always the professional as he comes in. And he looks around. I haven't been here before.
No, you have not.
It's nice. It somehow feels very you.
It is. It is. Please make yourself comfortable.
Of course. And he actually goes and he looks for a second and he finally decides to sit down.
Mm-hmm.
I know you don't ask me to come over very often, so you pique my curiosity.
Well, for one, I'm sure with the connections I have, I could still come to Milwaukee even if Decca doesn't want me to. But the simple truth is I'm not wanting to put things in motion just yet. Well, first, tell me how your child is doing.
She is voracious in her appetite for knowledge.
Excellent.
She's doing everything she can to learn as quickly as she can. Or condition, I should put it.
Mm-hmm.
She is doing well taking to the tenets. Her streak of justice makes that very easy. I think she'll do very well later.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad to hear it.
She needs time, of course, training. While she has the sense of justice, she's lacking the martial skills that we'll have to teach her. But I think she will make a fine member of the church in time. I have not set a date yet for her initiation. That is going to have to wait until she has made it to the point where she is ready to be presented. Even if Decker is a shithead, we're still going to follow all the rules to make sure that there's no grounds to cause problems in the future.
Yes, well, that is what I truly wish to speak about with you.
Any chance you can tell me what exactly happened to him? He has been more unstable than usual of late.
Yes, certain individuals went to go have a civil conversation with him. He was not civil with them, and now his haven was turned into a holy site for lupine.
My informants told me Miss Tracy Graves was there, but she was there with another individual that, frankly, we don't know who it is.
Yes. I happen to know that individual now.
Very good.
And so, needless to say, when certain plans take effect, I will have a solution to that problem, because I know the individual that did it.
So the individual is the one responsible for the lupine running hog wild at the ball stadium there.
Yes. It was a lesson for Decca.
I believe he took that lesson, but it has driven him a little further into instability.
Of course it did. Well, couple things. Akawa is beholden to Keisha Phelps.
Yes.
Okay.
I knew that.
I figured, but I wanted to make sure.
He also thinks he has she thinks she has the other judge as well.
That is not the case?
No.
Excellent.
She is too fair-minded to play the Setites game, while she is not a member and follower of Mithras. We see eye to eye on certain subjects, one of which is justice.
Absolutely.
And she has given support as long as justice rules.
Excellent. Well, I do plan to assert a claim of praxis on Milwaukee.
Now that is interesting. Why?
It is my next step. It is my retirement plan from working with Justicars.
And do you have the support to do it?
Indeed. I spoke with Pater de Camden, obtained his support. I went to London, as I told you, and when I said I felt him, I meant it. And he also gave support.
that is good on our end.
I also have the support of a few people here in this city and others in other cities.
Do you have Jackson's support?
I do.
I know historically he hasn't always had a say.
Let's just say he owed me.
It's better to be on his side. You can count on my support, of course.
Excellent.
The church will. Well, it's always good to have Mithraic interests looked out for.
The simple truth is Keisha is trying to create a theocracy in Indianapolis. With her at the head, I'm sure.
I've heard rumors. We have
And-
been unsuccessful in getting too many agents in that city.
I know someone who happens to know someone that's very close to Keisha. I expect to get some information soon about that.
I'm gonna be very careful with that.
Of course.
I have attempted to get various assets in place. They end up dead.
Oh, of course they do. Yes, well, it is my goal to make Minneapolis a stronghold for Mithraeus to combat the serpents.
As I said, we'll support that. Do you have a time frame?
How much time do you need to pave the way?
I've already got, as I said, I've been working. I've got a number of the Anubis suborned. Decker, the original plan was to convert him, but if we're eliminating him, I don't need him. We have one of his judges, though, to be fair, I'm not sure the judges will be needed with a new prince. That is a creation of his. Creation he did because he lacks the finesse to directly govern at times. So he terminates that part of his princedom to others to be judges. There's no primaging council to speak of. So who's to oppose?
Of course.
Him. And the Camarilla itself. But we all know how the Camarilla, success is the ultimate measure for Praxis.
Of course it is.
They turned a blind eye as long as it's not too loud, too noticeable, and you win.
Exactly.
Failure is punished.
But yes, Deca will be destroyed. That is going to happen. It may also send a message if something happens to Akawa at some point.
Right now,
I understand keeping him around for now. He's the quantity known.
better the spy you know than one you suspect.
Exactly.
He is also controllable. Yes. He has begun a relationship with a certain Tessa.
Oh, he actually did. Oh.
And while she is not one of us, she is Karna's child.
Yes, she is.
And that makes her predictable and manipulatable in the grand scheme of things. She will replace him in time. Well, like her sire would.
When she sees that the fantasy doesn't hold up to reality.
And we can also use that to our advantage. He is dealt with at the
Excellent.
time being.
Excellent.
Keisha gets info. But to be fair, what does it matter with Milwaukee at the moment? It's not as if Decker is subtle.
Yes, it is my theory that she is going to try to incite an anarch revolt in Milwaukee.
She better import. There's not enough left. After Akawa switched sides, most of them came back down to Chicago. The few that weren't willing to do that Few disappeared on the goblin roads, and the rest are left with nothing.
Except Akawa himself.
They don't even like him. They still consider him a traitor, even though...
He really isn't. Not to their cause, he is to ours.
They still call him a traitor. And until he can prove otherwise, they will consider him a traitor.
So he has no friends? Not really.
Keisha.
Just
Tessa.
Keisha and Tessa.
A
Just so
tribute-
you know, I did have a gift supposedly delivered. I hope I have not received confirmation yet. To Keisha. By proxy, of course. With no attachment.
And giving gifts to a Setite.
Indeed, it is one that should destroy her in time.
You know how they are. They are slippery.
If she survives it, that's okay. I have other plans.
I'm going to have to redouble my efforts to get information in Indianapolis.
Hmm.
As I said, my agents get wiped out. All I have are bits and pieces of rumors. I would assume she's behind consolidation of baronies that has been going on lately.
That would be interesting if that's the case.
There have been several baronies that were enemies that have announced new agreements.
Hmm.
The agreements are working together, almost as a combined front.
Mm-hmm.
It's a large power block that is no longer fighting, which changes the city dynamic quite a bit.
Oh, of course it does.
Sounds like something a Setite would do.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Now you've given me some things to think on. I will begin gathering what I'll need and what you'll need to eventually take and remove Decker.
Excellent. Thank you, Battershaw.
Of course. Really is a nice place, though.
Thank you.
And he stands up.
And she stands and takes him to the door.
Be safe.
Always, and you have a good night.
And he turns and leaves from the place. And as this night ends, Jackie back after meeting with Arjun, Nicholas having a ring returned, and Roscoe, well, he was texting with Samantha not wearing a shirt beside him. We fade this day to another day. So, what is everyone's plans this day? Now, Jackie, you've gotten your text. Now that Arjun's gone, if you have a response to Nicholas before the next day begins, you can, of course, send it. Well, you can wait.
She's going to send out a group message. Let's meet.
You name the place?
Club.
Nicholas will reply. Sounds good.
We all head to the club.
Okay. And let's see. This would be about a Saturday, wouldn't it? I think based on a general guess, Saturdays.
Mm-hmm.
It's a busy night at the club as you all gather in there. Now, you have already warned the guards to be aware of any odd emotions rippling through the crowd, and they haven't had any to report that, so I open up with you all gathered in the conference room.
What's up, Jackie?
Well, no, it seems everybody's having some problems and stuff, so let's talk.
Mm-hmm.
And Nicholas will pull a cloth out of his pocket, sit it on like the table in front of them, with the ring showing. The specter that dragged dear Roscoe's friend at the Madams returned this.
Returned it.
Well, so he says. I have a suspicion that he may have an ulterior motive and that this might not be the same ring. Do you remember, Roscoe, when we visited Benway's shop
Yes, I
when
do.
I acquired all of those pieces?
Right.
One of my family gifts, as it were, allow me to see items connected with spirits on the other side.
Mhm.
When I originally purchased them, all of them were, the term being fetter, all of them were tied to spirits. It no longer is. And on closer inspection, the ring seems slightly different than given, which leads me to think that either something has ripped the spirit from the ring, or the specter is trying to get me not to fulfill my obligation to the madam. Because when he dropped it off, he said it was her bidding to return it because it was not cursed. So I feel I
Did he
have
specifically say the madam?
I believe he kept referring as mistress, but never madam specifically.
So it may not even be her.
That is true.
Also, this is a whole lot of words for we're still going to go and we're going to fix the hole going to the underworld or whatever the fuck it is. Who cares?
Yeah, fixing that rent in the shroud is a good idea no matter what. So,
Yeah. Don't put the ring on.
Leave it
I
at home.
Keep the ring with you. Do you want me
I
to take the
have-
ring? I will put it in a box somewhere that you will never know.
You just literally like throw it anywhere. Doesn't matter.
True.
If you feel so inclined to take it, I just brought it to the group's attention because the last time a ring that looked like this was involved, some mistakes were made.
Roscoe, is the thing still cursed?
I can try to find out. When you picked it up, did it feel the same as it did before?
I have not touched it with my bare hands for fear that there was some other game afoot.
Hmm.
But as I said, when I tried to see if it was still a fetter, it was not, which means either it's not the same ring or it is and something has happened to remove the spirit.
And you felt no compulsion to put it back on when you got it.
None.
Well, I think the choice we have is either I try to spirits touch it to see if it's still the same, or we go back to the madam and say, "Did you really return this? Are you unhappy with the deal?"
I do believe those are the two options that I came to as well, which is why I felt the need to address it with everyone.
What was Jackie rolling?
I was rolling a Sensi Unseen on the ring.
It is a ring. Just a ring. Gold. Intricate designs on it, though designs aren't anything in particular.
Would Oblivion's sight allow me to see anything possibly on it?
Only if it's directly connected to the spirit world.
Jackie's eyes go black.
Okay. No, it is still just a ring sitting there.
She blinks and they go back to normal. I can't see anything on it.
Neither did I.
Well, I mean, if I do try to have a look at it, we'll know for sure. But hopefully, it isn't a trap set for you by the Spectre.
If you're going to roll, it's intelligence all specs. With your bonus power die, of course.
I guess it is.
And we shall see what you get. And we shall see how well you roll tonight. 7 with a crit. Very nice. That's a lot
And
of
I will-
successes.
And I will willpower that.
Okay. Let's see how high you can push it.
That's another crit.
Wow.
Yep, that's 4, 5,
11.
yeah,
7. Yep. Because the other crit adds 2 more on top,
yeah,
plus the one it generated.
yep.
So you're up to 11. As you touch it, you push back. You can feel it in his pocket, wrapped in the silk. Feel it as it was in the safe. Then you feel the cold grasp of death, of oblivion itself. Take 1 superficial wound as the cold of death seeps into you. Then you feel it in your world, though not in your world. It is in a place out of time, a place out of reality itself, in the collection of the madams. And with your successes, as you're pushing further back, you're jumping through places it's been. You see as it was brought to the madams. You see before it was brought to the madams. Then you see it in a jewelry shop. As Nicholas is picking it up from the proprietor. And then, as you go further back, you feel it being made at that jewelry shop from melted jewelry. As it was made the day before it was taken to the madams. And that is when the ring became what it is.
Okay, so this ring has a different history than the one originally that I touched. This one was basically just freshly made at Benway's.
Wasn't Benway's. It was you couldn't tell what jewelry shop, but it was a jeweler's custom jewelry shop in Chicago somewhere. You would have to find the location to know exactly where. But you know for a fact that he had that ring made. You could see when he came to pick it up.
Nicholas, do you remember picking up a new ring?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Part of the gift that I get to look back used on this ring, it shows me where it's been, who had it, and how, how it was moved from place to place. I saw you going to a jewelry shop and pick where it was just made and picking it up and taking it back to the madam.
You made a forgery?
So where the fuck is the real one?
I do not know. I haven't seen the ring anywhere.
Not at all. I mean, there's always a test you can do to see if it's still influencing you. Just takes a little blood.
Sure, why not? Rouse? No, frenzy.
Wouldn't be your blood. I'm pretty sure you don't eat yourself.
Oh, that's fair. It seems we do have a much, much bigger problem.
Yeah, you didn't even have the ring, and it still had control, or something had control of you.
No, he always had it. He never got rid of it.
If what you're saying, if I understand it correctly, it seems I made a duplicate to avoid getting rid of
Hmm.
the cursed one.
Genevieve gets up and she goes to the door and kind of sticks her head out. She's looking around. Is any of the ghouls out there?
Etienne is
Anyone's
always nearby
ghouls.
when you
She
are
kind
in
of-
there.
She kind of like, Etienne, could you get us a metal detector wand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Shakes her head back in. Nicholas, turn your fucking pockets out. Everything you own on the fucking table.
Oh, Nicholas will do exactly as Ginny says.
And it's
Like,
only a minute or two.
Down to butt naked if he has to.
A minute or two later, there's a knock on the door. Now,
Genevieve answers it.
and Etienne hands you the wand. Anything in particular you're looking for, ma'am?
No, just needed it for Nicholas. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
She goes over and flips it on and starts wanding over Nicholas.
Now, so you're aware, gold would not show up on a metal detector wand. Only trace metals.
She's still gonna wand Nicholas down anyway because
How stripped down is Nicholas getting?
Butt naked.
Bend over, Nicholas.
Wits awareness
Isabella.
from anyone who's
So-
staring his naked body down. Please give me wits awareness.
So while this is happening, Nicholas will reach out to Izzy and ask if she knows where he put the necklace or where he put the ring.
Those instincts apply in this wits
Sure.
awareness. Okay, thank you.
Go rabbit hunting.
And Izzy responds, I lost time too. I don't remember you doing that.
Isabella will search his clothes to see if there's anything there. She's
Jenny's-
doubtful, but she'll search.
Damn, Jenny, 7?
I've got 6 with a messy crit.
6 with
Jenny
a messy
has-
crit, 7 with
I've
a
got-
crit.
9 with a crit.
Nice.
technically.
Very nice. Jackie and Jenny.
So would Nicholas have, if what I think is happening, would Nicholas have the ability to think to fetters, binding fetters, his abdomen to see if he can see if there's a fetter
And you
inside
wouldn't
of
be able
him?
to see it. Your skin is in the way. It only lets you see what's around you. Your skin would be in the way. But it's Jenny and Jackie who got criticals. What was it? 6 and
9.
9. There's a odd lump on his back, right about the lower left side.
Oh, look at that, Nicholas. You put that in your body.
Genevieve is going to sprout claws and cut into Nicholas's back.
Nicholas,
I had a knife, Jenny. It would have been fine.
Nicholas, give me a frenzy
Yeah.
check, please.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to attempt to prevent them from cutting you open. It's not a real frenzy, but you are going to attempt to prevent them. Attempt.
So attempt. I'm gonna throw on toughness.
Okay. You can rouse for that right off. Because that's free. Well, you get hungrier, but that's free in terms of you can do it while you're doing something else.
And then Nicholas is going to try to get away from the knife.
So, or the claws, I should say for
Yeah.
Jenny. As the claws come towards him, Nicholas suddenly scoots forward. And now that you all are expecting it, I guess this is called combat in some ways, because you're going to have to grapple him. Etienne is still blocking the door, by the way, Nicholas.
I mean, he's gonna try to make it through or past them and through the door, which
Okay.
is unlikely to happen.
Jackie's action,
Jackie's stepping in front of the door and putting on shatter.
okay? Isabella, what are you doing now that you see him avoiding getting got?
Oh, she's gonna take her knife out and try and take a swing at him.
Everyone's
Cut
going
it
to try to
out.
cut it out one way or another.
Yeah.
It forces him to deal with multiple threats. Jenny,
Jenny's just gonna fall upon him. So
you're going to go for a grapple, and Roscoe.
He's going to be a little. He's like, "The hell's going on here?" for a second, and he's going to hesitate for this round probably.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out what's happening.
So, Nicholas, you're going to do a dex athletics because you're doing basically pure dodge to try to get the hell out of there. Everyone else can do their combat roll of choice. Because he's doing a full dodge, he's not getting all those penalties because it counts as a full dodge, not a pool loss. But I'm also going to roll for Etienne, who's at the door because you've got to break through it.
Oh, I don't get away from anybody. Nicholas is not a get away from people kind of
Wow.
person, especially
Yeah.
when he's hungry.
Yeah, that's a, wow, that's bad. Wow. Let's see what Jackie got. What'd you get, Jackie?
I'm not fighting. I'm standing in front of the door.
As you stand in front of the door, he tries to break past you.
No, if he pushes on me, he's going to hit shatter.
Well, but if he's not hitting you, it pushes, but it only does damage. If he does damage to you, it returns the damage to him. But you are like a brick wall that he has to try to get around.
Mm-hmm.
And as he goes to get around you, he walks into Etienne's arms. Etienne had 7 with a crit
Okay.
on a grapple. So Nicholas is immediately bear hugged. Now, the direction you were running means you're bear hugged chest to chest with Etienne, naked.
I have to ask. You said it's not like real frenzy. It's just.
You have to try to stop them from doing that.
I am going to try and grab onto Etienne and try to use Necrotic Plague
Well, you
to
can't
get
this
him to
turn.
let go.
You can't this turn. We still have Jenny and Isabella's actions to take care of. Now you are grappled. You are held in a pretty bad situation with your back exposed.
Mhm.
Isabella, you got 3. Jenny got 4. He only has 1 success.
I mean, can I take my cane sword and try to cut it out of his back since he's grappled right beside me?
That would be your action next turn.
Okay.
We're going to go with
Because I didn't do anything.
you activated Shatter and got in his way.
Okay.
So, looking at that, Isabella, you come in and try to slice it with your knife. Now, he activated his toughness, which helps him a bit. Not enough, but it helps a little.
Jackie does look Nicholas in the eye and says, if you hurt Etienne, I will destroy you.
So, you're looking at Isabella comes in with 3. He had a 1 because that's all he gets. Margin of 2 with a knife. So, you're going to do 3 damage minus his toughness. You did 1 superficial. Your blade barely cuts. Now, Jenny, on the other hand, because she's using feral weapons, does not get to use your toughness bonus as much because it's non-halved. On top of it, you get your toughness bonus, but she still managed to land to +2 brawl weapon. 3 superficial to you. And as she cuts you, the ring falls out of the wound, landing on the floor. And with it falling on the floor, you are no longer bound by its control. Please mark you have taken 4 superficial wounds. Just a few, you're okay. But now you're yourself again. As you heard that ring, and it's the ring, it looks just like the other one.
Immediately as I sort of like snap out of it and I'm like looking Etienne like right in the face, like as his hands are like starting to go up, like he's gonna grab for him, they just kind of come back down and he goes, "Fancy seeing you here."
Yes, sir. You're not going anywhere until Jackie says you can leave.
That seems fair.
Jackie leans down, takes the silk off the table, and grabs the ring from the floor.
Okay.
You can release him, Etienne. He needs to get dressed.
Yes, ma'am.
And she walks out of the room.
And Etienne just opens his arms, almost dropping you to the floor, and follows her out as you go to get dressed. And out in the hallway, Etienne, ma'am, what just happened?
This ring is possessed. It is cursed, possessed, whatever the fuck it is. And it should have been given to the madam, but he made a fake. So now I need to go deliver this to the madam because he fucked up a deal with her. I am constantly cleaning up messes and I'm fucking tired of it. And you can hear her yelling in the hall.
We can try plan B. We can go put it in the furnace downstairs. It's gold, right?
Nicholas, when he hears that, he'll like come out, like buttoning his shirt up. That won't work. It does need to go back to the madam. We did make a
I will
deal.
go. And she turns and goes to the
Etienne
car.
looks over. Yes, ma'am. And then there's a voice in the hallway of the club. Nicholas, everybody hears it. And that is what you were supposed to give her. It is not yours. All of you hear it.
And it will be delivered to her.
No. You will give it to me and I will take it to her. I am the servant. She is the mistress.
Jackie turns on Oblivion's sight.
There's a creature there on the floor. You've twisted, you saw it drag Samantha in. You can tell it was human once. Once. And its hand is outstretched.
He did drop off the forgery.
I was sent to watch, to find where he took it. A deal was struck.
Exactly. And I am a woman who upholds deals. And she places the wrapped ring in its hand.
It falls to the floor, but you see it reach down, and you can hear her tearing. Again, as this ring, you see the cloth it's wrapped in suddenly go flat as he pulls it back through the shroud. And it's in his hand on the other side.
Please advise her. He was not in command of himself. The ring controlled him.
And that I will uphold my end of our original agreement. And should she feel additional payment is owed, I will pay.
And it laughs. You're brave. The deal has been met. She has her part, you do yours. You offer additional? Foolish, So foolish. I'll enjoy.
Mistakes were made.
I'm going to enjoy feeling your pain over time. It's so nourishing.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Oh, yes. And it scurries up the wall and runs along the ceiling as it heads. Actually, from where you're standing, it appears to be going beelining the straight direction back towards the Madam's Tower.
And she snaps off Oblivion's sight and picks up the fucking handkerchief and hands
it's
it back
empty.
to Nicholas.
Thank you. All of you.
You know what? I'd been feeling a little down. I felt like I was being the only person in Chicago who's incapable of making business deals. But you, Nicholas, keep lowering that bar. Thank you. You don't offer extra shit. Ginny's actually just going to like walk away. She's not in the mood to deal with this.
Jackie follows her.
Okay.
Jenny,
Yeah.
I spoke with Dredd.
Mm-hmm.
The wolf pack is going to assist with McTavish.
Sweet.
That's your out, darling.
Why?
Because she wants to get it before Tyrus. And if Tyrus is involved in taking him down, she can't claim that.
I guess that is a silver lining. Thank you.
You're welcome. I have your back, dear.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just one shit
Ignore
show
that
after
bitch.
another.
Ignore that bitch. She's a fucking cunt.
No, that would require depth and moisture.
That's true. That's true.
So-
God, she's an emery board.
Yes, that's yeah.
But we will get it done. We will have assistance of folks that it is their job to do this fucking thing. And it will get done. And she will not like how it was done, so she won't want to use you anymore.
Perfect. If she ever comes calling again, I'll be in a place where I won't feel so bad about accidentally tearing her face off.
Exactly.
You didn't hear that from me.
Of course, I didn't hear. What was that? Crickets?
Yeah, crickets. and-
So
yeah.
relax. I told you this was not only you, this is a group thing. And I did what I do best. Rally troops.
Gotcha. Well, this whole politicking thing is not my forte.
That's okay.
And also it like immediately having the threat of death thrown at me, it was just kind of
It was off.
jarring considering I've done everything I can to be a loyal servant and helpful and all that jazz.
I understand. I understand. There's a reason why Bobby wants out from under her. She's a
Yeah.
monster. So,
Yeah. I guess I should probably talk to Bobby soon. Make sure he's still alive.
but I think we should help Nicholas closing.
Oh, I was planning on it. The last time the think tank went down there, we got into a similar situation to tonight. So I was planning on going. Also, I wanted to see if Joe was still watching, since he's the next piece of the puzzle, I guess.
Absolutely. Good idea.
So, and this time there's no bad influences with sledgehammers.
Do you have snacks for the little woodland creatures?
Yeah, I will have to pick some up on the way.
Go down to
so,
go down to the kitchen. Pick them up there.
perfect.
And she goes.
Ginny actually.
And Jenny, while Jenny goes down, Jackie actually goes back to the group.
And Etienne is outside the door as the group gathers back up. You all heard the conversation with the spirit thing, even through the walls, because the realm of the dead isn't blocked by walls with voices. It's not blocked by much of anything. And Etienne actually steps in the room with Jackie and stands by the door.
Etienne, may I ask a favor going forward?
Yes, sir.
If you find yourself in a position such as tonight, drop me fast. I have abilities that could be very problematic if you let me touch you.
I will do my duty. To Jackie. Damn the consequences.
I'm saying in service of Mr. Rond. If nothing else, stake me. Then I can't do much of anything.
Noted.
Thank you, Etienne.
Yes, sir. And as the coterie, would you like to have any more talk before we go to break?
I would say, Nicholas, you got a nice, pretty ring now that's well, completely normal. Be ashamed to have anything happen to you now.
Isabella
Yes.
takes the ring. Is there a window in this room?
No, this is one of
No.
your upper, even the non-Faraday caged room has not got a window in it because the last thing you want is somebody crashing through your windows like a random nos.
She's going to take
Just
the
to-
ring and she's going to walk out the door. And she's
Yeah.
going to throw it into like the crowd of people.
I agree, just to be safe. It's probably best. I don't know where it goes. Just in case.
And somebody on the dance floor, you can hear them over the music screaming, "Oh my God, I just got a ring. Best club
But-
ever."
Before we leave the immediate area, I just want to check and make sure that the tear in the shroud where he did his thing actually closed.
You can check. That's where the shroud thins. Because you've not actually seen this before.
While he's rolling, I have a general rule question for the game. The people in the club, did they hear the Spectre thing talking?
No, it wasn't loud enough to go over the music. Had the music not been loud, they might have heard it through the floor. Because sound travels totally differently in that world. Specters, when they want to be heard, are heard.
I'm fine with that.
6. The shroud is not thinned. There's no damage at all to it. You know that ghosts have a way, some spirits have a way to pull things from one side of the shroud to the other, but you've never seen it done until now. Obviously, this specter was able to do that, pull an item from one side to the other. But it leaves no
Well,
damage.
It seems we are good here. What next?
I guess unless there's anything else anyone needs to discuss, we can go head out to the little place out in the woods and repair the damage.
I think there is a hole you need to worry about, Nicholas. That was a gold ring. No doubt it was expensive for you to have the duplicate made. So the holes in your wallet. Is there anyone like Matthew that would have noticed you leaving to go get that done? That could fill in the time of what you were doing? What happened to you?
It is possible. It seems Izzy also lost the time. So
Could anyone have tracked what Izzy was doing then? No one else communicates with her. There's a lot more reach that she might have. Or assuming she was with you, she may not have been.
That is true.
I do have something else to discuss, but given Nicholas's difficulties in his deal with the madam, I figure we should probably talk about it on the way
Okay,
and try and get this resolved quickly.
then let's go.
So as the coterie piles up into the car to head out to the woods, I was going to say the cabin in the woods as it's been called, but it's really more of a garage. We're going to go right here to break with, well, Nicholas finding out it wasn't as easy to get rid of the ring as he thought. Thankfully, the coterie was quick to respond and found it through some lucky rolls. I will see you all in 10 minutes. Please enjoy the break. And goddamn.
Allow me to introduce myself, though I fear you've heard my name, and that you've heard the story of Countess Bathory. History is told by the victors, heroic warriors, and mad kings. Will you hear my story from the lips of Bathory? They call me blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins, beautiful, the blood countess. Who is she really? Who is she really? Blood countess. Who is she really? Elizabeth Bathory. I was very wealthy and powerful, a widow with political rivals keen to destroy me and take my property. My plea was never offered, all my confessors were all tortured, or how they destroyed me for my property. They put me up, shut me up, shut me up, put me up, put me up, shut me up, and told a story of a bitch called Bathory, blood-sucking demon, queen of hell, sadistic killer, a monster tale, bathing in the blood of virgins, beautiful, drinking the blood of virgins. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. I've always been the hunter, nothing on my tail. But there was something in you I knew could make that change. To capture a predator, you can't remain the prey. You have to become an equal in every way. So look in the mirror and tell me, who do you see? Is it still you, or is it me? Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. So embrace the darkness, that will help you see that you can be limitless and fearless if you follow me. We are the lions in a world of lies. We are the predators, the hunters, the hunters, the hunters. Become the beast, we don't have to hide. Do I terrify you? Do you feel alive? Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive? Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin and burrow within, and burrow within. Splinters of my soul cut through your skin to burrow within, to your burrow within. Do you feel the hunger? Does it howl inside? Does it terrify you? Or do you feel alive?
Welcome back. Before the break, there was an interesting night for the coterie, it turns out. We know why Nicholas found it so easy to get rid of the ring he did. Got rid of the wrong one. Thankfully, the coterie was there, well, with knives and feral claws to correct that particular problem. And as we pick up, the coterie is gathered in the car, gathered a whole shitload of stuff. I'm going to assume competence, and as long as it was reasonable to say you brought it, you have it. And as you gather in the car, which ghouls are going with you?
Etienne is coming. Because he's driving.
Not Matthew.
Is Emilio there? Was Emilio
Nope.
at the club tonight?
I would say so.
Okay. Nicholas, give me wits awareness, please. I know you've been doing so well with wits awareness. Okay. As you go to leave, as you're getting ready, as you're getting in the car.
Oh, he got 4.
Yeah, it didn't help. As you're getting in the car, Emilio hands you something, Isabella. A small bag. And his eyes cut to Nicholas, and he cuts to you, and then he cuts to Nicholas. And he just nods at you.
Villa takes a peek in the bag.
It's his ritual bag. Nicholas still has one. Looks just like it.
Yeah, she's gonna put it on her shoulder and like have it sit next to her in the car and not tell Nicholas yet. Nicholas has caused enough problems for now. He can just toys back later.
Okay. And as you all pile up, ma'am, where are we going?
Out to woodland property.
That weird place?
I believe the effects that you felt prior are now gone.
Yes, ma'am. And he sets out driving, and I turn it over to the players.
I met with Honor a little bit ago. I did get information about, well, a lot about what's going down in Milwaukee, or not Milwaukee, Indianapolis, and it's not great news. Apparently, someone named, I'm checking my notes, Harvey Coleridge has disappeared after having some minor disagreements with Keisha over something that could essentially give her more control over the city. So not only is she expanding her influence in Indianapolis, she's getting rid of anything in the way and creating ash with it. Likely, I mean. It's honestly like she's trying to reorganize it all. And she's gotten her hooks into honor.
How deep?
Snake tattoo deep. I don't think we can wait for the ring to take effect.
I agree. We need to extricate Honor. And I will look into that church of hers.
How do we plan on extricating her? I don't want to force her to go, and I don't think we can reasonably convince her at this point.
No offense, fucking stake her and park her. She obviously is vulnerable and impressionable. Setites love those.
I don't think I could bring myself to be the one to do that.
I can do it for you.
If not, I
mean-
will.
I was gonna say I can do it sight unseen, so she won't even see it coming.
If we choose to do it that way, we need to act fast to
And-
get Keisha gone.
Like I said, I will look into that church. Pretty sure that's her base of operations.
Oh, definitely.
And if it is, we will stage an op.
She's also... I know that we knew that some of the ash was in Milwaukee too, or that's where at least some of it seemed to be created from. We know that she still has her connections there too. She's still maintaining her influence, spreading rumors about Decker. Apparently, Akawa is also in her pocket still.
I suspected as much. I recently talked to one of the judges, Judge Shaw. He knows that Akawa is one of her operatives. Keisha also thinks she has the other judge, the Nosferatu. But she does not. Judge Shaw knows that. Judge Shaw is also going to be working in the city to pave the way for my praxis. But he says that the likelihood of an anarch uprising in Milwaukee is very slim because Akawa is not favored by other anarchs. He's seen as a traitor by them. Also, there are not very many anarchs left in Milwaukee. They either left of their own volition, got lost in the goblin roads, or they were destroyed.
I'm honestly more concerned about Indianapolis.
Oh, I am too. Which is why I wish to take Milwaukee, to create a defense and an offense for Indianapolis. But yes, I agree. We have to get... Anna has not been with Keisha long enough to be unsalvageable.
Honor did invite me to go out there. I don't know if I didn't give her a definitive answer, because that could be a really bad idea or a really good idea. But just so you all know, the offer is there if we need to do something physically there. I'd have a reason.
We may have you do that.
We can pull a Flyboy 2.0. Just not as messy this go around. So
Thank you for sharing that, Isabella. But yes, and I am sorry about your friend. But we will do what we can to pull her out from that bad influence.
I just wish she'd learn.
It is very hard to do so when someone is telling you exactly what you needed to hear for years. She was abused and neglected. And when she was freed, she fell into the arms of a snake.
Maybe I'll just have to take care of her myself at some point.
That,
Clearly, I can't find anyone good to do it.
that may be the case. Show her a better way. Show her that she doesn't need validation. She has power within herself. But yes, I'm definitely ready to escalate the Keisha situation. Fuck that bitch.
I mean, it sounds like if we get rid of her, it'll resolve quite a few problems.
The problem is, we may get rid of her, but another snake will step up. So we have to keep watch.
It'll take a while for that snake to gain power, though. At least to where she's at.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm dominating this conversation. Anyone else have any commentary on it?
Tangentially, I'm working on acquiring some ash for Roscoe, so hopefully we can track back to a place and stomp out that little fire. Yeah. I will say it has taken root across the city apparently. So in different places, Erzule said that she had it pop up in a few individuals in her circles, and they had been removed from said circles. Though one of them was probably really close to popping, like the one in the club, because apparently they had completely basically become subsumed by the ash. They swore they were a different individual and started attacking those around them. So yeah, I don't know, but hopefully we can work on that, since it sounds like Keisha's wrapped up in that too. So
As you're talking, Jenny, you all notice, everybody notices, outside the car, it wasn't a foggy night, but the fog is getting awful thick.
Isabella's gonna... I was gonna say this like throughout the car ride, but since I didn't say it, it's fine. She's gonna start doing vicissitude to kind of change, like, her appearance.
Okay. Anything in particular you're doing with it? Or just...
So that depends how many successes I get.
Okay. It is Resolve plus Protean. You're capped at your vicissitude level and number of changes overall, which means...
Vicissitude level
your
or...
Protean level. So you can only do 2 changes. As long as you get 2 successes, you're good.
And Nicholas will throw on Oblivion Sight.
But you don't know where the fog came from. It's too warm to be foggy tonight.
Well,
There's one change, unless you willpower.
can I willpower that since
Yes,
it's a power?
You can.
Okay.
And you shorted yourself 1 die. Because it is a power use, you get a bonus die. So roll your
I'm
1
gonna
die
just
first.
roll 1 period, yeah.
Roll that first, just as your extra die. Okay. And now you can willpower. Let's see how many you get. You got 2. So you can make 2 changes. But while you're thinking of that, what it's everybody else doing is you see her working and changing what she has.
Well, we've got a little while before we get there. And I have a ritual that I'd like to try out. It will take me about 20 minutes or so to do.
Okay. So, Roscoe, you break out a silver bowl and a hip flask. You're going to roll intelligence plus occult. As Isabella is molding whatever she's adding to herself.
Oh, is it, do I have to do the ritual test first?
Yep. Intelligence plus occult is your ritual test. Or
I
sorry,
thought it was
intelligence plus blood sorcery. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
That's your ritual test.
Let's see. That.
And we'll see what you get. Wow. 9. That's enough, I think. 9 on 10 dice. Pretty impressive. You all see him make this, pour alcohol in the bowl, put some blood in it. And as you're riding, the bowl, the blood in it coalesces into a bloody rat that starts sniffing the air once he's done. Now, you did not get a crit, so it still lasts until sunrise, and you can use it to check things out.
Okay.
You all see a little bloody rat come out of the bowl and scurry up and sit on his shoulder.
I'm going to take one of my dots of stamina and use it to increase my armor.
Okay.
I'm just going to do the one.
Okay.
That is an interesting new pet, Roscoe.
It is. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could use a pair of extra eyes while we're looking around.
And can you see through this fog?
Storyteller?
That'd be
No,
with
it's getting
suspects.
thicker and thicker.
Okay.
At the end, is slowed down a bit. He's not driving as fast because you don't want to outdrive your headlights.
I'm going to turn on Oblivion Sight as well. Nicholas has, so I'm going to do it too.
And the Oblivion Sight, though it lets you see as though it is daylight, the fog is still obscuring your vision. Though with Oblivion Sight, catching glimpses of things in the fog that you don't know what they are. Odd after images, odd shades of something. Things moving in the fog that shouldn't be moving in the fog.
Is this the effects of what y'all did?
Yes.
Jackie, you've also seen this fog roll in twice before, when Dread took you through the Goblin Roads.
Wait a minute. This is like the Goblin Roads.
There's a bleed between this side and the other.
Check the veil.
I'll do where the shroud ends.
Okay. Let's get your roll for that. Pull up your character sheet so I can see what the roll is, because I don't remember off the top of my head.
Rouse, Wits Oblivion.
Wits Oblivion, there we go.
Rouse. That's
Okay,
fine.
while he's doing that, I know Genevieve's probably can't see through it, but she's going to try to activate Eyes of the Beast because it's dark and that's what she usually does.
And with Eyes of the Beast, you can't pierce through it, but you are seeing the fog swirl as if shapes are moving in it, shapes you can't see, but you can see the displacement they leave as they're moving through the fog.
Isabella also does Eyes of the Beast.
And you see the same. 6 successes with the shroud thins. The shroud is very odd here. It's not thin, but it's not thick either. It is fluctuating. Sometimes there's a shroud, sometimes there's not. Sometimes it's thick, sometimes it's thin. It's almost as if trying to find a way to describe it. I don't think you've ever experienced something like this before. It's almost as if where you are now is only partially connected to the world you normally exist in. And Etienne suddenly swerves the car. Ma'am, did you see that?
Did I see that?
You saw nothing.
I saw nothing.
There was... Jesus. Had to have been 8 foot tall. Bad ears.
We are in the motherfucking Goblin Roads.
I'd swear it had wings, but it didn't. It was in the road.
I believe the shroud being left damaged has allowed the Goblin Roads to extend.
We need to get there quickly. Keep moving, Etienne.
Yes, ma'am. It's kind of hard with the fog, but I'll speed up as best we can. And as you're driving through, I turn it back over. You all can have a conversation as Etienne is doing his best to go fast. You can't see more than maybe 10 foot in front of the vehicle. Can't even see that to the sides.
Question.
Yes.
So, with Oblivion Sight, I always mess this up. I think that I'm using the wrong thing. With Oblivion Sight, can I see? If I'm gonna try to move like up closer to like in between driver and passenger seat,
okay,
and just look towards the front of the vehicle. Just trying to see if there's anything I can see that maybe Etienne doesn't, just to try to give him like a heads up when he's driving.
You're going to play navigator.
You can't pierce much further than the headlights. Yeah. Even though Oblivion Sight lets you see as clear as day, the fog itself is damping that down. You can see trails being left, glimpses of movement to the edge, but nothing in the road.
I mean, that's as much, I think, as Nicholas can do in this situation, is just try to be an extra set of eyes. So yeah, that's where he'll be for now.
And as you're sitting up front, who has Oblivion Sight? Jackie and Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Something moves out of the corner of your eye off the driver's side door. And there is something keeping pace with the vehicle at this time. I say something because it's indistinct. It's hard to fully recognize. It is certainly not human-shaped. Its shape doesn't seem to be set. Its shape is changing constantly.
I will tell you what Dread always tells me. Just ignore it and keep going.
Agreed.
Anyone else doing anything, or are you all just going to stare at this oddities as you're going?
I think we're just waiting on high alert.
Yeah, we are.
And it takes longer than you expected. And then suddenly, the fog is cleared as you're turning on a road. The road that goes to this garage that you've been to before. And it sits in a clearing of the fog, completely ringed around on all sides. You can almost see a dividing line. Hard-edged, even, to where it starts and stops. And every once in a while, a single wisp of fog will cross this line, but the moment it does, it instantly dissipates. Ma'am, we're here. This looks safe-ish.
Yes, you're coming in with us. I don't want to leave you out here.
I think I'd be better to watch your back, ma'am.
You are still coming inside.
Ma'am, I'll stand guard.
That is fine. Inside.
Yes, ma'am. And you all have never seen Etienne not back talk, but contradict her in that manner. You've seen him do it once and she's immediately
Shut it down.
repeat her command and he instantly towed the line. Not tonight.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's get our gear and go inside. And Jackie still has Oblivion sight on, so she doesn't need light, but she's...
Etienne goes to the back and opens up the trunk so that people can pull stuff out. Let me know, Nicholas, when you go to check your bag of ritual materials.
Yeah, Nicholas will grab his bag where he had left it in the seat and he'll open it just to see if that he's got everything.
There's, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 Grim Reapers in your bag. Stuffed Grim Reapers. Some with little chains on them to make noise. Some with coins wrapped around their neck or hung off their neck. But it's full of Grim Reaper stuffed plushies.
Where is my bag?
What's the matter?
Get it?
I believe Emilio has been packing for us.
I don't know, Nick. Those do look a lot like yours. I haven't seen Emilio have
Now,
those.
careful, Nicholas. Emilio has not played pranks on you before. This is your first prank, so careful about knowing too much about him playing pranks on people.
He's done the gun thing to me.
Granted, wasn't as obvious as this one.
Mhm.
Just, you're towing a line. Careful with the line.
Yeah. Something seems to have misplaced my items that I brought with me.
You brought those with you. I saw you pick up the bag.
Seriously, if he doesn't have his ritual items, we can't do what we came here to do.
Let me have some fun, and Isabella hands it over.
And it's an
We would've
exact
been
duplicate
fine.
of your bag, and your bag is an old bag. Emilio went through all the trouble of finding one that looks exactly like yours. Even's got
I
scuff marks in
imagine-
the
I
right
ma-
places.
I imagine it would have been extremely difficult seeing as this thing is like genuine and old.
Never say Emilio doesn't go the extra mile for his jokes.
Isabella takes one of the stuffed reapers out and puts it in Nick's actual bag, just for memory's sake.
Etienne looks over.
Oh,
Can I have one, please?
Those are cute.
You have a bag
Nicholas was
full.
gonna
Take
don't
take
get
the
me
bag,
wrong.
Etienne. Those are cute.
Nicholas was gonna take all of them
Oh,
once we were done.
yeah.
Etienne takes one and puts it on the dashboard. That's my new
That's fair.
co-pilot.
Excellent.
That's fair. Yeah, no, Nicholas will absolutely keep the one that gets handed to him in the bag, but it's just he's trying not to be I guess Nicholas at this point would feel like he's very much still sort of on the line. And so he just wants to do what he came here to do and not fuck around, I guess. Yeah, it's like he's in detention, I guess is what he feels like. He just
Etienne starts laying high-powered hand, not even calling flashlights, hand torches, basically, on top of the car. They're the big hand spotlights. He starts laying them up in a row on the car. And he looks in the trunk a minute, and he looks in the trunk, and he shrugs. And you see him pull 2 stakes out and tuck them into his belt. And anyone else who had anything in the trunk can go ahead and, I assume, you grab it. So as you're sitting here, Roscoe, you still have a rat on your shoulder outside this building. It doesn't look like anyone's been here. Lights are still out. But this odd fog is perfectly in a circle around it.
has the is there any change in the shroud here?
It is tattered right here.
So not fluctuating, just
tattered.
like torn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jenny, you have Eyes of the Beast on. Did you also have Eyes of the Beast on, Isabella? Every once in a while, you catch something lurking in the fog outside, staring back with red eyes. It's only brief, but it's there. Never in the same spot twice. You're
So
muted.
while
I see Jenny talking, but Jenny's muted.
No, I was just doing the great. You're just gonna see Genevieve sprout claws. So
Jenny does not get hungrier as her claws come out.
but also while she's looking around, I'm assuming she doesn't see any animals out here.
There's no animals, there's no insects, there's no wildlife. It is perfectly silent in this cone.
That's what I figured.
Yes, let's fix the problem.
As you all head in. Roscoe, what are you doing with your rat?
I'm going to tell it when we open the door to go in. I tell it to the path to take and to go down into the pit where we're going, just to scout ahead.
And you see this. I mean, it's a rat for sure. It has fur, but the fur is the color of blood, and it almost looks liquid, even though it's not. Obviously, it's got a form. It scurries off, and it's gone about 2 minutes before it comes back. And Roscoe, it tells you that the door is closed. The hidden door that you all went through to get into the main tunnel section, it is closed. It can't get any further.
Okay.
But it didn't see anything in that path.
Well, it looks like the path all the way down to that hidden door that got close. Remember that, Nicholas? The path
Yeah.
all the way to that point is clear, but it can't get past the that door without our help.
Let's go.
And as you all climb down this it's a ladder. You move down the ladder into a basement is the best way to put it, cellar. You come in, dust is on everything. No footprints anywhere in it. And everyone turns on their hand lights, shine it around, and you know where the door is. You've been here before, the secret door that you can push open. And it swings without a noise. And beyond is, of course, once again, crypt with desiccated bones and decayed bodies on each side. That old dusty smell of air that's been trapped in there forever. And it stretches, well, down the hallway. There's no dust beyond the door, of course, because no dust can get in. And Etienne stops at the secret door. I'll stay right here, ma'am.
All right.
And you all head down. Who has what active? I need to know who has what active at this time. Eyes of the Beast, I know from Jenny and Isabella.
Oblivion Sight.
Oblivion Sight
Oblivion
from
Sight.
Jackie. Oblivion Sight from...
I'm also going to rouse for toughness.
Okay.
Because I fully expect.
Same.
Bella also has vicissitude up, giving
For
her
your-
2 points
yep.
of armor.
Mm-hmm.
Nicholas, you know you get hungrier,
Mm-hmm.
but your beast does not speak. Now, you're not feeling something suppressing the beast. It's just not talking.
Or well, there's no way for me to know, but I'd say we should probably ask Etienne if he's feeling okay. It didn't work out so well last time.
You can ask him as you pass him.
Okay.
I'm fine, sir. A little spooky
You
down
mean-
here.
But you don't feel like you did last time you were here, where like you were
Oh, no. I'd immediately let anyone know if I felt like that again.
okay.
I don't want to experience that ever. And as you all head down this hallway, you know that there's another door at the far end that you can open. It's another hidden door, but it's a very easy one to find, where it's one particular stone niche that a body's in, that there's a little lever you can push to open it up. When you open it, it slides back into the room. And once again, you're in the room where Lamar was kept. But in this case, the cross that was bolted to the floor over a flagstone that held the hidden entrance under it that led down into the altar room, it is toppled over, leaving the hole open and the cross broken in pieces.
When y'all left the last time, did you put the cross back?
I think we did. Somebody's been
It was
down here.
Nicholas and Lamar who put it back because Roscoe was running like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Something pushed it over. Let's see what's down here.
Oh, and I'll send the rat down.
And you send the rat down. And then you hear a squeak come from it, more like a shriek. And it doesn't come back.
Seems like something's down there.
I'm also going to browse for shatter.
Rat.
Good, I've succeeded on both browses. Well, Jackie takes her cane, hits the button, pulls out her sword, and goes into the hole.
Now, the hole has got a small ladder. It goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jackie going first?
Yep.
Then you drop down. And who else is following? Is everybody immediately going behind her?
Ginny
Nicholas
was
will.
gonna
Go
try
ahead.
and get down quickly too, so
It's not a big drop. You could technically just drop down. Climbing out's the more important part.
I was gonna say Ginny probably just drops into the hole because she's has a habit of doing that.
You get to the bottom. The room, the bones are still there, though they're blown as if maybe a tornado or something passed through it. But the room itself has got patches of inky blackness that are shifting and moving. I'm not going to say it's a fog, but it is patches of darkness, kind of like what you've seen from a La Sombra, but it is not a solid sphere. It is a piece here, a piece there. And it's moving around. Actually, everyone here has seen where the altar was, where the altar used to be.
There's nothing else in this room?
And there's a hole in space, in reality, a tear. It's where that inky blackness keeps seeping out of.
Nicholas will walk around the edges of the room, scattering powdered bone.
Wits awareness from everybody. Eyes of the
Instincts?
beast. Instincts works. For those with eyes of the beast, give yourself 2 extra dice on top of your normal roll.
Oblivion sight doesn't
Concealed
help?
objects.
Oblivion sight isn't going to help for this one. It's because of the other part of Sense of the Beast that I'm
Okay.
leveraging. You have Sense of the Beast, so you can roll 2 extra dice as well, though, because Jackie does have Sense of the Beast.
Oh, I do. Okay, hang on. Let me re-roll those.
Wait, did you say
Uh,
Sense of the Beast or Eyes of the Beast?
Sense of the Beast.
Oh, I messed up my roll then.
Yeah, sorry. Sense of the Beast, because that's one that protects you.
Okay,
From
so
danger.
I got 5.
Who else has got above 4?
For wits awareness, are we not does concealed objects work?
Sure, I'll
or
let
no?
you have that one.
Okay. I'm gonna have to roll an additional one then.
Just anyone who got above 4, let me know. Jackie did.
I got 5.
Anyone else?
Rolled
I got
4 on the
2.
dot.
4 on a dot? I'll let you have that. Jenny, your Sense of the Beast. There's something hostile moving around you. Jackie, there is something moving in the patches of darkness. It is quadrupedal. You see it in the darkness every once in a while, but it's there. But it's also not there.
Jackie is going to keep pace with Nicholas as he's doing his ritual around the room. She is basically going to be his sword guard.
And you hear, I'm afraid I can't let you do this. And it's coming
Do I
from the
recognize
blackness.
it?
No, it's something from the blackness.
It is quadrupedal, shifting in the blackness.
And something you all see steps out. It is black as night, black as oblivion itself, with two glowing red eyes. Wolf-like. And I only say wolf-like because it doesn't really have fur. It is made from the darkness that you're seeing in the room itself as it pads out. Its head sets at about 6 foot.
Jackie instantly moves to strike at it.
Okay. So let's go around and see what everyone's doing as you see this thing step out. Jackie's going to strike with her sword.
Mm-hmm.
Isabella.
She'll probably also strike out with her knife.
Okay. Jenny.
Ginny's gonna try and attack it. So
Okay. Roscoe.
I'm going to pull out my knife and do Ball's Caress.
Okay. You're going to blood up your knife this turn. And Nicholas, you're focusing on getting your ritual done as fast as possible. So who,
Correct.
Let's do Roscoe's because that's not an attack. We can knock that out first because that's quick and easy. You're going to roll for Ball's Caress. Strength plus blood sorcery. Well, actually, that's to do it. You use it when you attack, don't you? Yeah. So we'll wait until you attack now. So you've got your blood on it. Do your rouse check part. That's all you have to do now until you attack. Yep. And then you'll get to roll your attack. You don't need
roll.
2 dice. 1 die, please.
I clicked rouse and it rolled 2. Okay.
You had +1 selected still. And you get hungrier, but your beast is silent. So who is going to be the first to attack this thing?
I was gonna say
Jackie, because it probably came out right near Nicholas.
Okay. Then Jackie rolls first.
I'm going to rouse to increase my dex. I got a little bit hungry.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm using my specialty in sword cane.
Okay. Nice. Critical success with a 6.
Not done. Nope, I am done.
And as you move forward, it lunges towards you.
Mm-hmm.
But you
I also have shatter up.
were expecting it.
Mm-hmm.
And you step more to the side as its massive maw of teeth clamps at empty air. And you strike it with your sword, knocking the smoke free. You can see a rent in its body caused by the smoke where it's been cut free with your sword. You got 6. Note the margin. Okay. Who's next?
I guess I will go next.
Okay. Now I've reduced its pool. It's not actually biting you. It's already did its bite, so this is just to keep it from getting hurt.
And Jackie just pissed it off.
And it lost a die because you're its second opponent. As you move into strike,
I'm doing willpower
Okay.
real quick.
that might change the result. 4, you move in, and as your blade comes in, the smoke or blackness it's made of seems to shift a bit, and your blade catches empty air. You almost caught it. Very close. But it managed to shift itself a bit. And now we're on Ginny's attack. And it's down 1 more die. Because each opponent after the first costs it a die. Oh, 4 with a 4 so far. Nice. You gonna willpower the 1 die you can, or you just gonna take the 4?
I'm just taking the 4.
And Jenny comes in after it shifted and its maw struck out. And though the smoke shifted its form so that Isabella couldn't touch it, where it shifted its form happened to have been in the path of Jenny's claws. And Jenny cuts more rents into it. As you can see, the dark, inky body tattered a bit. But as you're watching, the wounds are slowly closing. Not as fast as you've done them, but they are closing.
Now it's Roscoe's turn.
No, Roscoe goes next turn. This will be a whole new turn.
Oh, that's right, because he's
got to
doing
draw the blood,
stuff.
put him on the blade. It takes a little bit more time. And as you're doing this, you notice in the room suddenly the shadows deepen. The whole room gets darker.
I still have Oblivion sight.
And as it gets darker, Oblivion sight, which is Nicholas and Jackie, a shadow slipped into the room from above just now.
We have company.
Now, for everybody else, you can't see it because the shadow's darkening in the room.
Go ahead and step out, darling. We know you're here.
What is everybody's action this turn? We're going to start, Jackie, going around the table.
I am going to attack the beast again.
Okay, Jackie's going to strike, and let's get everybody else's.
I have a logistics question. So I want to almost hold my action if I get attacked by whatever being that entered is, but I would want to surge. Would I surge? And if I choose to surge now, would it apply to the next roll that would use it?
The way I do surges is when you surge, it applies for the scene.
For the scene. So if you bump it to increase a stat or an ability or skill, basically, you get it for the whole scene.
Oh, well then fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, that's why I did my dex. It bumped it up to 5.
Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna do that, and then I'm not gonna attack because she's fully expecting not good things in the shadows.
Okay, so you're attacking and you're going to surge.
Okay, so now that Jenny is in combat, we now have pack tactics, which gives us in combat
Bonus die.
a bonus die to our rolls.
Just Jackie or Jenny's got to give some tactical advice real quick for everybody, and then you all get a bonus die.
Yeah, Jenny's just going to be like, keep trying to strike where whoever hits first, try and strike in the same spot because she could see a healing. So it's healing through our attacks.
Okay, let's do it.
So there we go. Everyone that attacks this turn on it gets bonus dice. 1 bonus die each. On top of its penalty, it loses 1. And Roscoe, this turn you're attacking as well with Ball's Caress.
Okay, and I'll ignore my first roll because reasons.
Okay, I didn't even see your roll, so it's okay.
I've been holding the mouse button down since just before you said no, not until next turn.
Yeah,
so
just don't drop it on the chat window, and I never see it. It doesn't look like you dropped it on the chat window.
Yeah, if you drop it in the middle, it doesn't roll it.
Yep.
Oh, okay, awesome.
It only shows it to you, not to everybody else. So Jackie, you rolled. You went first.
Yep, I did 4.
Okay. And that was with your bonus die?
Yep.
Jackie, you come in with a sword cane, and this time it was expecting it. It steps to the side, and a paw lashes out, hitting you with a shadowy claw. Now,
I do have Shatter.
you have Shatter, and you have Toughness.
Yep.
So, let me pull up your Shatter to make sure I'm doing it right. I don't want to do it wrong. This is one that first time you've used it on screen.
Yeah.
So we want to
I've
make sure
browsed
we
it
do
a few
it right.
times, but it's never come up.
Okay. Subtracts. So, yep. Anyone who makes a successful brawl attack against the user suffers damage, which Toughness does a subtract, but it doesn't have Toughness, equal to, it takes the same amount of damage as Superficial. Okay. So as its claws hit you, you take 3 superficial damage. And you see the smoke that makes up its claws, the inky blackness, actually come apart and dissolve. So it took 3 and you took 3. That's after your toughness subtracted from it.
Mm-hmm.
So who was the second attacker?
So if my toughness subtracted from it, shouldn't it have taken the full amount that it hit me with?
It is non-half through your toughness. It is going right through it. But it still takes the shatter.
Okay.
The toughness is not reducing its damage due to
Okay,
supernatural
because it's claws.
origin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Actually, it's not even claws. It's due to supernatural origin.
Okay.
Because feral weapons is reduced by toughness. This
Okay.
is not. But, Roscoe, you were obviously the second one to roll because you've already rolled. So I'm going to do yours. Now, your attack is your strength blood sorcery. But you also
Right.
need to roll a dex or strength plus melee. Make sure you get an extra bonus die because of pack tactics.
Okay, so I did. That was the blood sorcery
Yep.
plus strength plus my 1 die for my.
We're leaving that one there. Roll your
Okay.
actual melee attack first.
Okay, and
Dex
that
or
one
strength
is
plus melee. You have a specialization in knives, so add 1 plus or pack tactics adds another one. So plus 2 dice on strength or dex plus melee, because I always allow you to pick dex or strength.
they're the same.
So roll them up. We'll see if you hit it. If you hit it, that's where that 5 comes into play.
Oh, it's 9 altogether.
9 with your successes. Okay. 2. You're going to willpower that one?
Last one. Yep.
You can always take ag willpower damage.
Yeah, but you don't get that back as easy.
No, it takes longer, but sometimes it's worth it.
And you did 8 total,
9.
9 total. Okay. And his blade, you see Roscoe's blades come out coated with the blood of something. His blood. And it strikes this thing, and though it's obviously not made from stuff on this world, whatever this magic that Roscoe has put on these blades does something, because enormous gashes rip in it, and you see the inky substance grow light for a second as it fades out in parts. Giant chunks. Because you exceeded it by 4. Okay? Now, who's next on the roll? We still got Isabella and Jenny. Whoever's next, make your roll. Let's do this. This time it only has 6 dice. Slowly losing dice. You're muted, Red, if you're talking. Come on, not everybody go at once. Who's attacking?
I rolled
just rolled.
2 because I
Yeah.
can't hit the broadside of a barn.
I'll roll its defense. And as you come in with your claws this time, it bats its tail and almost shoves you off of the attack, and you end up wide, but it doesn't do damage to you. It just messed up your ability to hit it. And now we're down to Isabella.
Isabella wasn't attacking on it. She's trying to make sure that she doesn't get attacked by an unexpected shadow.
Okay. That shadow you see, you suddenly start to see tendrils, arms form, similar to what you've seen Lamar do. But when they form, they start moving towards you, Isabella, but then they shift back. And they start wrapping around an object that is, well, you don't even know is there.
Can I attack that object that's there now?
Go ahead.
Yes. Sorry.
You were waiting for it. Go ahead. I will give it to you. You were waiting to see if something else to attack. You can have it. Very nice. And because it's been wrapped with the arms of Amram, it doesn't have a defense. It only has 1 die in defense for this attack. And your knives cut deep into You didn't see it there, but you feel it as it cuts something. It is a patch of coldness. It is a patch of nothingness. Now, knives don't normally injure someone in a shadow form. But you're in a place where the shroud is tattered, where oblivion itself is seeped into the world. And unfortunately for them, they're lacking some of the protections they thought they had. Your blades sink deep. Please take 1 superficial damage from the sheer cold as your skin frostbites from the impact. As oblivion and entropy itself is transferred through your weapon, your knife breaks, but there's a woman's scream. A scream of pain that is...
Does she drop her shroud?
We'll get to that. As you stand there, your weapon is broken, but you hurt whoever it was. And Nicholas, your ritual is continuing. How long does it say your ritual takes?
As far as I can tell, like, there are very specific things I have to do, but I don't see that it says how long it takes.
We're doing 3 and out anyway, so we'll do the 3rd round, and if this thing doesn't die, then if it dies, you'll get to finish it. And as you watch its wounds close, Roscoe, where your daggers hit, they aren't closing. And it can't even repair the damage it's already taken. It is taking damage faster than its own ability to pull it in. And you see it start to gather the shadows around itself, and it starts moving towards that hole.
Oh, it's retreating.
So, this turn, what is everybody doing?
I want to stake her.
Etienne had the stakes.
No, we could have brought some.
Nobody did any. I assume competence, but specifically, I don't think anyone else said they'd bring him other than Etienne.
Would Etienne be able to toss me one quickly?
He's down the hall a bit.
Oh, damn, you're right.
Okay, you know what? Jackie runs up with her fucking cane, which is a fucking stake.
You do have the wooden part of the cane.
And she stakes exactly where she heard the scream.
Okay, so that's Jackie's action. Isabella, you lost your weapon, but you have it there. You see it.
Is there any way, like, that
Can
I
you
could-
assist me aiming?
Yeah. Can I assist, like, Jackie with this? Like, by, like, holding on to the coldness? I don't care if I take...
Well, it's already
superficial damage.
immobilized by the arms that wrapped it up.
I can't do more?
Not really. You just get in her
Okay.
way.
Okay.
You can get out of her way. You can get out of her way so that you don't
you
get
can do that.
accidentally staked.
I'll get out
Because
of
she's
her way.
coming like at a run.
Yeah, no, I'll get out of her way. I wanna
Jenny, what
watch
are you
this
doing?
happen.
Jenny's gonna take a swing at this fleeing thing. So
Okay. Roscoe?
I'm going to swing again with a knife.
Okay. And Nicholas is doing his part. So let's go around. We'll start with Jackie.
Jesus.
That's 9. With a crit.
And Jackie runs forward, and you see her cane go into this figure. And then suddenly, there's a woman there. Her hair is as black as night, almost onyx colored, very fair skinned. She has a look of shock on her face, and her black eyes, well, they fade back to a clear blue. But we're going to continue around the table because we're not done yet. Jenny, your attack? Interesting. 5. Pretty good. It has its full pull, though. Jenny, you come in with your claws. And as it's retreating, it's more focused on trying to get to that opening than defending itself. because obviously it wasn't able to stop you from hitting it as your claws rent into it. And more chunks of what it is made of is fading away. It is obvious at this point that it is coming to pieces. It is breaking. Roscoe, your attack.
Okay.
Well, first you got to do your attack, your melee attack,
Okay.
which is Dex melee or Strength melee. Pick one with your specialization and the extra dice. You get 2 extra dice. Six. Very nicely done, Roscoe. Roscoe once again comes in with his weapons. Yep, I got to roll for against the other one. And his weapons manage to connect because it seems to be focused on escaping. And this time Roscoe's weapons tear more chunks of it off right as it reaches the opening. And as it reaches the opening, one of its hind legs is removed. But it still makes it to the opening. And when it goes through the opening, you see that tear that was there snap shut. But you also hear, it's a scream, but it's not a scream that comes from the mouth. It comes from someone's soul. Because the body of the one that just had a cane staked through it disappears through the hole, pulled through onto the other side with it.
No!
And you, with Oblivion Sight, you see this creature. You can see it clearly on the other side of the opening as it's trying to reform itself. And it looks down at... It's a body. It is fully there. It is on the other side of the shroud, ripped through with it.
Give that back!
Your cane is with you. It did not go. It did not pull the cane through, but it pulled the body.
No, I want that body back.
And it looks dead at you from the other side. And it grabs the body in its teeth and starts dragging it away.
I didn't use my action. Can I grab on and try and pull back?
It's on the other side.
Ah!
It closed the hole in the shroud and ripped her through it as it closed the shroud. Now, Nicholas is still there. You can still see where the hole is. It is closed, but it can open at any point. Nicholas has to finish his ritual to keep it from opening. So Roscoe, Nicholas, you can roll your thing. As it's dragging away, it doesn't seem like it's the creature you're seeing, Jackie. It's reforming parts of itself. It's still missing a leg. It doesn't seem to be regrowing a leg. It doesn't seem to be regrowing other pieces of itself. It is injured. But the body it's dragging is not moving. Even though it's not staked anymore, it's not moving either. Nicholas, go ahead and do your roll. Did you do it? And Nicholas, as you complete your ritual, you see the spot where it's thinned. And you feel it knitting itself back together. And all the little bits of blackness that was in here fades. And you're in an empty room with bones around the rim and the remains of an altar. No smoke. And inside you almost feel, each of you feel something stirring, as if your beast is becoming aware again.
Jackie just goes up the damn ladder.
Isabella's gonna start throwing shit.
You going to throw the
Whatever she can
bones of the
find, she's gonna
bodies
start
or
throwing
bits
it.
of altar?
All it. She's gonna throw. She's angry.
Jackie, as you come out of the hole, Etienne's still standing at the other end of the corridor. You can see him, and he looks down at you, shines a light to make sure it's you. Man, what was that scream?
Sending shit back to where it came from.
Yes, ma'am. What's the rest of the group doing as Jackie's storming out? Isabella, you're throwing bits and pieces of altar. I don't know. Are you kicking the bones around the room too, or just throwing bits of the altar?
She's having a temper tantrum.
As soon as Nicholas sees her kicking the bones, he's gonna try and like direct her tantrum towards the hallway.
Does it work?
Probably not, but it's just,
you don't want to do that, Nick.
well, Nicholas, they're dead. So for him, like you're
No, I know.
yeah. So whether or not Nicholas wants to, it's what Nicholas would do. Because he's already seen them go through essentially hell once, and then this on top of it. It's just like insult to injury.
And what's Roscoe doing?
Well, he's watching Isabella, hanging out just to make sure nothing happens to her.
Isabella throws her fit, and then you all can work your way out of the area, out of the basement, out of the hidden area. And when you get outside, the fog is gone, all of it. The building sits in the woods. You can hear the insects, you can hear the animals. It's as if it's changed totally since what you closed. And as you pile in the car, I'm going to give you a scene in the car as you're leaving. Anyone doing anything special as you're leaving?
I think all Nicholas is doing is just like while he it may end up being stupid, but he's just like kind of just repeating, I think, half to himself, half to Isabella. We'll get her.
We fucking had her. Jackie is livid.
Isabella's silent. She's just kind of holding the pieces of her knife in the car.
Next time this happens, y'all need to use, cut me and then use your knife.
Does it even work that way?
She was down and out. It didn't matter.
Well, it worked when we were taking down Capone.
Capone wasn't in and out of the shadows.
It would have been worth a try.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yeah.
He was in both sides at once.
She had come out when I staked her.
The shroud is fickle.
Roscoe, did you see her?
Yes, I did.
You all got to look at her face.
Good. Because give it a few nights, she's probably going to have to recover from whatever the fuck is going on the other side. We're gonna track that bitch.
Okay, yes, we will.
I would caution we need a more reliable place of origin. I fear that if she's able to be pulled through the shroud, we may have a dead end here.
Of course, here we go to Isabella's bar.
Can we forcibly bring her out?
Oh.
I don't have that ability, but could someone who interacts with the shroud forcibly pull her back out?
It is possible to do with spirits. People might be trickier.
I think Izzy might just give her a good boot and kick her right through.
Because,
We
I
do
guess-
know what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You hear Izzy's voice whisper, Nicholas. She's on my side. We're stronger than she is over here. That thing is taking her to someone. Maybe they'll kill her. I've heard stories of your kind over here. We don't like your kind over here. It is a personal affront to what it means to be dead. For those who have died but refuse to stay dead, to walk on our world. She'll find no safety here. And then the voice goes silent as your necklace goes cold.
Perhaps it's time Jenny, do you know when would be best to reach out to that meeting with Primogen Stewart? I feel I will need some answers and talk to Sylvester soon.
You stupid, silly bitch. She's not my Primogen. Why don't you ask the Ventrue in the car? But, she's very amicable, though
I'll put in a
you're not going to
word,
get the secret
Nicholas.
handshake, so... Clan Ventrue owes us. I believe she said they owe all of us, so...
Well, this is also cashing in on that favor from the prince.
Yes, but
Oh.
yes.
No. Clan Ventrue owes us for the Capone hit.
Mm-hmm. She'll be more than happy to meet with you. I'll put in a word.
Oh, I do appreciate that you thought of me first this time, Nicholas. I'm sure Jackie's sick of your bullshit. When we're heading back to town, Etienne, drop me in the middle of fucking nowhere because I think I'm going to pull up the sex offender registry and kill someone tonight.
Yes, ma'am. And as you're driving back, there's no longer the fog. The Goblin Roads is not here at all tonight now. Closing that seal drove it away from this section. Of course, that does raise the question of what is in Milwaukee that causes it to linger outside there. And as the coterie goes away in the night, I think this is a good point to end. Season 8, Episode 4. For those wondering about what just happened, Lasombre using Tenebrous Avatar is not in the world of the living. They are beyond the shroud. They are impervious to weapons. They are impervious to everything except sunlight and fire. And yet, because of the nature of this place, she could be wounded. But she was still on the other side of the shroud where her Oblivion power was manifested. The staking, where the worlds merged, paralyzed her, but she was on the other side of the shroud when she did it. And with the body moved, the cane left behind that Jackie now has again with her, she is unstaked, but helpless in the mouth of this thing. And I would like to thank the players and the viewers, everyone for the player vote. XP, everyone gets the player vote, and it's episode 4. Everyone gets one additional this episode. Nicholas, you don't get the player vote. You weren't here last week, but you get the one additional for this episode. Like I said, turning up the heat a little. That creature was guarding the rent in the shroud. It was a gatekeeper, you might say, to allow things through that it wanted to let through and things that it didn't, not through. Too bad it just got taught a lesson. a very painful one. Of course, if you like what we're doing here, pop over to YouTube, catch our back episodes. We got a lot of back episodes on YouTube. This whole previous 7 full seasons plus part of this season. You can catch all of our other World of Darkness content. You can pop over if you want to see Call of Cthulhu, Ishvel. You want to see some amazing content creators? Of course, right there, Mischievous Red, the Ivy Raven. Give them a follow. Seriously, give them a follow. Let's see, I'm trying to go through. You want to get some Windy City merch? Get you some Windy City merch. I think the Zoom chat, if my eye is working, kind of. I think somebody was joking about we need some little miniature Reaper stuffed animal or stuffed
plushies on merch. Yeah.
We need to find little Reaper stuffed plushies for merch because that could definitely be a thing.
But they don't. No, it doesn't work like that. But
we'll make a shirt with little stuffy plushies on them. We'll find one.
Yeah, somebody's going to have to draw that.
We'll find a way to do it because, yeah. And I'm trying to go through. I know I'm missing something. Bits and donations. Bits and donations, they go to the players, not to the studio. It's a way to give back to players. You want to give something to the studio, of course, you can do Ko-fi or you can subscribe here on Twitch, but the bits and donations go to the players as a way just to give something back for all the hard work they put in it and all the emotional roller coaster that I put them through. I'm pretty sure I've covered my point. I still think I'm missing something, but I'm going to turn it over to my wife anyway, because either she'll remind me of what I'm missing or we'll just go on to the schedule. Pick one.
All right. Let me find my cursor because now I have 3 monitors and I have to navigate to figure out where everything is. Okay, so coming up over the next week, we have on Saturday. Oh, I'm sorry. Before we even get to Saturday, on Tuesday, we will have the premiere of Mage the Ascension, Neon Hurricane, which is the 4th and final season of Ravnos Archon's Miami-based 1980s, early 90s Mage. You will see myself, Ivy Raven, and Timberbrad here in the cast, along with medics for the 4th season. I already know some of the plot that's going to be happening, and y'all, it's going to be messed up. There's a reason it's lasting for 2 months instead of just a month this time. Y'all want to tune in for that premiering on Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Then on Saturday, Dr. Tiss is back with the next season of Call of Cthulhu, London Esoteric Society, which is Call of Cthulhu 7E set in Victorian London. These investigators are all into sus-ass shit, trying to summon elder things and not burning the books. They're reading the books, and they shouldn't be reading the books. They should be burning the books. And it's just a mess, and y'all need to check it out at 3 p.m. Eastern on Saturday.
And if you missed the one yesterday from when this airs, the talk was that they were going to be playing the servants of the main characters on yesterday's episode.
Yeah.
They're going to be the servants of the main characters for a special episode of them being the servants, as the servants are summoning all kinds of weird things. Of
course they are.
And I believe there was something about scones attacking. There seems to be a running joke.
Yes, there's going to be deadly scones. And then, of course, we'll be back here at 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday with the next episode of Windy City After Dark. We got some pissed off ladies up in this coterie right now. That is going to be detrimental from anybody that tries to cross them at this point.
And a whole list of people y'all want to kill.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to take, well, let's be frank. It's going to take Amelia DiCarlo a bit to recover from what just happened to her tonight. She's got to escape first. And if she doesn't have a way to cross the shroud on her own, she has to find a way to cross it other than the normal methods. And everyone, mental health. It's not a joke. It's not a laughing matter. Please take mental health seriously. Check in on family, friends, loved ones, people around you. Please make sure they're okay. A lot of people are not. They just need a friendly voice, somebody to talk to them, someone to listen to them. If you suffer from mental health issues, I want to say first off, right off, look, it's okay to not be okay. There's nothing wrong with saying you have a problem and you need help. We all need help sometimes. And the stigma that's attached to it should not be there. Don't feel bad about admitting you need help. And I know a lot of people are still uncomfortable about bringing it up with those around them. And if you are uncomfortable, in chat is a list of numbers. You can call or text 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. A lot of times it's volunteers on the other end. And it's people who want to help you. And they'll talk to you and try to work through it with you. And it's very important to get that help you need, people, please. We want you to be around with everyone to watch the show. And even if you don't watch the show, we want you to be around. And of course, I'm going to turn it over to my wife for her portion of the end here.
As you know, I am a registered nurse, so is Timberbrad here. We're going to tell you.
Get your goddamn shots.
Yes, it is flu season. Get your flu shot. It is still COVID season. There's a bivalent vaccine booster that you can get. Or if you haven't gotten the vaccine yet, that's the vaccine you need to get because that one works for the new variants that have been caused by people not getting vaccinated. Also, make sure your polio vaccine is up to date. And just make sure you get your damn shots. Don't be a freaking petri dish of disease everywhere. And truly, we are getting closer and closer to midterm elections, y'all. The Republicans are just full of fucking bullshit, y'all. For real. The only party actively working on making sure folks have rights right now is the Democrats. Please vote blue. Please. Please. If not for your rights, vote for them for everyone else's rights. Seriously.
And make sure, check what the candidates stand for. Make sure they stand for human rights, LGBTQIA rights, all of that. Make sure they stand for women's rights, health rights, body autonomy. Make sure they stand for
disability rights, that they for indigenous rights, for minority rights. I mean, y'all, we have to stop the madness. We have to stop it.
There's a spectrum. Make sure they're on the morally correct end of that spectrum, please.
Give a damn about somebody else, please.
Because just saying vote blue, they could vote for Manchin or Sinema, and come on.
Yeah, no, those are Republicans and fucking Democrats.
Check to make sure that they support the moral choices, please.
Yeah.
The correct ones. It's very important.
We have got to break the filibuster, y'all. We have got to break the filibuster to get shit actually happening in a positive way. So please vote blue.
Yep. And fuck Putin. I like the Russian people. Fuck Putin. I hate the fact he's conscripting people because it actually affects some members of our community.
It does, but I actually heard that there were some cities, smaller towns and cities in Russia where they are actively revolting against it.
That's good.
like killing government officers.
I hate seeing the Russian people suffer, but until Putin's removed, it's a problem that's going to compound. I'm just saying. And please, everybody, don't be a shithead. Please don't be an abuser in this community and the TTRPG community as a whole.
Oh, no, I'm going to say one more thing.
Go ahead.
Women in Iran are fighting for their right to have liberty, freedom, recognition as an equal human being in their culture. There are men in Iran that are fighting with them. Iran has taken away the internet so that they cannot share their voices to the world. They are fighting for their lives. Seriously. I know I talk a lot about American politics, but there is a problem worldwide where women, LGBTQIA, minorities, indigenous get treated like garbage. This has to stop. Said with love.
Welcome to the shitheads of humanity. Sad but true. Way too many out there. So don't be shitheads like the oppressors. Don't be shitheads that think that they have the right to tell other people what to do with their bodies and right to tell them they're second-class citizen. Fuck all that. And I do thank you all for coming. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time. Good night, everybody.